What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Erislandy Lara versus Gary O'Sullivan, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBA Middleweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, May 28th from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and this fight is going to be broadcast on a Showtime pay-per-view. And to get both fighters' resumes, Erislandy Lara, fighting out of Cuba, holds a record of 28 wins with 3 defeats and 3 draws, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently not ranked by BoxRec due to inactivity. However, he is the former WBA interim super-welterweight world champion, the former 2-time WBA super-welterweight world champion, and the current WBA middleweight world champion. And to first of all list all 3 of his draws and all 3 of his losses, he has a majority draw against Carlos Molina, a technical draw against Vanes Martirosyan in their first fight. He also has a split decision draw against Brian Castano. And to list his 3 defeats now, he has a majority decision defeat to Paul Williams, a split decision defeat to Canelo Alvarez, and a split decision loss to Jarrett Hurd. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Alfredo Mangulo, a unanimous decision victory over Austin Trout, a unanimous decision win over Ishe Smith, a unanimous decision victory over Vanes Martirosyan in their second fight, and he has a unanimous decision victory over Terrell Gausha. And to get his opponent's resume, Gary O'Sullivan, fighting out of Ireland, holds a record of 31 wins with 4 defeats and 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 36 by BoxRec in the middleweight division. And to list all 4 of his defeats, he has a unanimous decision loss to Billy Joe Saunders, a knockout loss to Chris Eubank Jr., a knockout loss to David Lemieux, and he also has a knockout loss to Jaime Munguia. And to list some of his best victories, he has a unanimous decision win over Matthew Hall, and he has a knockout win, which was very impressive, over Antoine Douglas. And in my opinion, this fight is pretty easy to predict, and I think it will go in favor of the current WBA middleweight champion, Erislandy Lara. I think Lara is just levels ahead of O'Sullivan. Lara, even though he's 2 years older at 39 years old, he's still a very, very solid top 10 fighter, now at middleweight, first time moving up, because he was really a career-long super welterweight, but in his last fight, he destroyed Thomas LaManna. LaManna is obviously a worse opponent than O'Sullivan, but still, Lara is just levels ahead. Lara has decent power. At 39, he's still a very speedy fighter, has great defense as well, very good southpaw. So, yeah, O'Sullivan, he's just really a basic fighter, I'm just going to be honest, and all of his losses have happened really to the same level of guy, like top 10, top 15, so I really just think it's going to be another loss on his resume. But I believe this is actually O'Sullivan's first time challenging for a world title, I think so. So, it's really big for him, but I don't see him getting a victory here. If Lara somehow aged drastically overnight, maybe, but, I just do not think that's the case. So, comment down below your thoughts on this fight and who you think is going to win, but I just think Lara is just the much better skilled fighter. And really, just to break this fight down, I think we will see Erislandy Lara fight in different styles really throughout this fight. Early on, and let's just say the first 6 rounds, or not even, let's just say the first 4 rounds, I see Erislandy Lara really trying to figure out Spike O'Sullivan. Yes, because Spike is O'Sullivan's really main nickname, what he's known for. So I see Lara really trying to box on the outside a bit, fight him mid-range, really try and counterpunch O'Sullivan with some big shots. Because O'Sullivan primarily comes forward, I've seen it in a lot of his fights, likes to come forward, and he does leave his chin pretty wide open, so I think he will be getting caught with a lot of counterpunches from Lara in those earlier rounds. And I see Lara just really outboxing him and scoring points in those first 4 rounds, and I see him being up 40-36. But then in the middle rounds, I see Lara starting to come forward a bit more. I see him really fighting more mid-range, maybe coming forward on O'Sullivan and really making it more of a brawl. And in the middle rounds, I actually could see the judges maybe giving O'Sullivan maybe a round off that Lara had, maybe 2. And he could make it a little bit closer, like let's say from rounds 5 to 8. Lara starts to come forward a bit more, and I still see Lara winning, obviously, a majority of those rounds, but after 8 rounds, it could be 78-74, 79-73, somewhere like that. And then in the last dying embers of the fight, from rounds 9 to rounds 12, I see Lara maybe going back to boxing a bit. He might try and come forward more. It really could be a mix of the styles in the first half and the second. But really throughout the fight, I see O'Sullivan trying to come forward on Lara and land some big punches, maybe score a knockdown, even though it's pretty unlikely. But I see O'Sullivan really gunning for a knockout or something like that, because obviously I think he knows this, that Lara is the superior boxer and will be scoring more points than him. But then in those later rounds, I could see maybe O'Sullivan sneaking one round in there, and really just obviously still losing, but I mean maybe winning a round here and there. But yeah, I see this fight going the distance, and I think Lara will get a handily and clear and pretty wide unanimous decision victory. At most, I see O'Sullivan winning 3 rounds, maybe 2 rounds, somewhere around there. So once again, as mentioned before, comment down below your thoughts on this fight. Who you think is going to win? Most likely Erislandy Lara. I mean, this fight is much bigger of a, I guess you could say, one-sided fight in my opinion than the main event on this card. It's obviously Davis versus Romero. But, I mean, this fight also for a WBA title, and I think that the A side is going to get the job done, just like I think in the main event. So, I think that the judges have both scored this bout 118 to 110 twice and 117 to 111 once in favor of Erislandy Lara. And being that Lara is defending this middleweight title, he could get a very, very big fight in his next one, maybe against a top 15, top 10 fighter in the middleweight division, being that he is this regular WBA champion. So overall, I believe that Erislandy Lara will defeat Gary O'Sullivan by a wide unanimous decision to successfully defend his WBA middleweight world title for the first time. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.